Hey guys, Tisha here, and we are back with another Sister Wives Season 18 one-on-one, the final part. Let me begin by apologizing at first for these notes because at one point I accidentally deleted something, and for whatever reason, my Mac wouldn't let me recover it. So some things may be out of order, but just follow me if there's anything that I miss, because I will be intentionally skipping certain things in this review and you want to talk about it. Feel free to put it down in the comments section. One thing that I think is blatantly clear about Cody is that he is miserable. Extremely miserable. But we're going to get into it. So, we pick up the episode with Mary hoping that she can find a soulmate. She says that she has met David as well, and he does seem nice, that Christine seems happy and she's excited for her. Janelle thinks that David is a breath of fresh air and that he's a really great guy. And she says that one of the things that Christine shared with her, which she may get in trouble for telling, which I don't think she would, is that Christine didn't know how it felt to be loved, like how she's being loved now, until she met David. So Cody lets us know that he met him for 15 minutes and he had a light conversation with him. He says that he mostly talked about Robin, and Robin feels like he was very sweet. Christine chose him, according to Cody, but he knows nothing. And at this point, Cody doesn't need to know anything. The only conversation that Cody should be having with David as a man is basically regarding Truly, because that is the only remaining minor that he has with Christine. But Cody isn't a man, and Cody isn't really actively involved with Truly. So really at this point, there's nothing that needs to be said. To me, the key here is to just watch out for Cody, because to me, he's unsafe. So Suki brings up the lunch that we saw that Christine and Cody had in the beginning of the season. And Cody says, yeah, the one where she laughed when I said that she'd drive over me with a truck when I was in a pretty bad place and I didn't like her at all. I still feel that Cody has no legitimate reason to dislike her, because Cody takes no accountability and he will forever be the victim. Even with the scene that we see later on in the episode where the kids are talking to Christine about dating, somehow Cody manages to make this like Christine is trash talking him when she's talking about her dating experience. But we'll get to that when we get to it. He says he wishes her the best and happiness in life. We get a clip of the lunch about him feeling betrayed for all the ish that she talked about him to the kids, and him being in the fetal position on the floor sobbing while having COVID because he was in so much distress and so much pain and he thought he was going to die. And Christine laughing about Gwen describing him. Cody is really trying to play this COVID thing up. As I said before, it really pisses me off because neither him nor Robin required any type of medical intervention when they dealt with COVID. Robin went in there with a mask on, no oxygen tank, nothing. Her levels were fine, but they are dramatic and that's what they do. So him being in that fetal position is supposed to make us feel like he was so distraught and in so much pain, but really it's just more of his antics. We are really seeing all these clips, and as we're seeing these clips, Christine is having pure joy about what's going on, about the distress, about Cody being upset. And while I am happy for Christine, I wish she toned it down a little bit, because her doing this gives Cody ammo. As soon as I finished typing that in my computer, I mean, as soon as I said it and they're showing her like laughing at something he said, he says, see, she likes this. And you see him sitting there smiling because in that moment, she allowed him to feel justified. With people like Cody, the best way to get at them is to just not say anything about them and to like take them out of your vocabulary. And when Christine does that, she really and truly, in my opinion, will have the upper hand. Christine said a very important thing in the flashback. She said, he's trying to blame her for demolishing his family, but his actions is what damaged his big picture. She says, you just can't pick favorites. And looking back at old episodes and seeing how he treated Robin and the things that he said regarding his wives and then the things he said about Robin, despite what Cody is saying, it is evident that he did have a favorite and he does pick favorites. At this present time, it happens to be Robin and her children. We then have Suki saying, let's talk about the word hate, because he used that when saying that, you know, that's one of the ways that he feels about Christine. Like he hates her and he feels like he never wants to see her again. He says, listen, it was an uncomfortable life with her in Vegas, and it got even worse in Flagstaff. When she said she was going to leave, his thoughts were, we suffered all these years together and now she's just going to quit. Yes, she suffered 10 years too many. She deserved to walk away. She should have done it a long time ago before that. And the fact that she says, let's talk about the word hate, and you change it to that, a lot of times Cody doesn't directly answer Suki's questions. He cuts her off and he changes it, which makes you sit there like, okay, did TLC clip this part off, or is this what he really did? Because he seems to constantly interrupt her. He says that he is bothered by Christine's mocking his suffering and laughing about it. I want to know, what is the difference between her laughing at him and him blatantly demeaning her? I know it's not the same thing, but does he not think that that may not invoke the same type of emotions that he's feeling in her? You keep saying you don't love her. You keep saying she was unattractive. You keep saying she was a poopy sister wife. You keep saying all these negative things about her, and she's not supposed to want to have a reaction. Does it go a little too far at times? Maybe. But then on the same point, I can kind of see why she would do it, because she knows it gets under your skin. She's teasing, according to him, and pushing buttons and being a mean girl. Suki says, was it hard for you to see that she was happy? Suki, let me answer the question for him, because he's not going to just come out and say it. The answer is yes. It's extremely hard for him to see that. And you all doing such stuff, such as giving Christine a spinoff of 2 episodes, is really going to burn him up even further. See, Christine, that's the best type of revenge. That's how you do it. You show yourself happy and getting married, and you no longer discuss him. Cody can't fathom how Christine was not only able to leave him, but to find peace, to find joy, to find love. Christine looks lighter. She looks healthier. She looks happier. She's just in a better place. Whereas Cody is putting on a facade where he's acting like he's so happy that everybody's gone, but Cody is miserable. I think part of him felt like she would be miserable without him, and then she might eventually try to come back, because his level of disdain for her just makes no sense to me. Suki says, because one of the reasons why she was laughing in that clip is because in that moment she's happy. And he says, no, she's not happy. She's mean. I know her, but she's mocking my pain. His family is unraveled, and she's riding off into the sunset to a happier life. Once again, Cody is miserable and he is jealous. Christine said she's going to be honest. She likes the villains in a lot of the Disney stories. And in this situation, she tapped into her inner Cruella, and she felt good doing it. She said, for once, I didn't have to be this bubbly person. One of the things that Cody kind of like demanded or wanted of her was for her to always be positive, always be bubbly, always be lighthearted, always be airy, always be everything that made him feel good. It didn't matter how she was feeling. She said he only liked the bubbly part of her, and she no longer has to hide her feelings, basically to pacify him. Suki asks if she's to blame for the big picture being destroyed, and Cody is like, no. it's his fault because he married a woman that he didn't love. Cody is going to do whatever he can to beat in the fact that he didn't love Christine, Mary, or hell, sometimes even Janelle. And then later on get mad when his kids call him out on it and blame it on the mom. All right. But at this point, it doesn't matter. I want Suki to move on from that. Suki asked some question about Robin and if Robin really wants to be a plural wife. And Christine says, no, I do not think that Robin wants to be a plural wife. She then repeats the answer to Cody. And Cody says, Christine doesn't know Robin at all. She never tried. She was a crappy sister wife. He tries to say that Christine wasn't a fit and how now looking back at it, there's 1,000 reasons why he can look and say that she wasn't good in polygamy. But I say that that is him rewriting history once again, because before Robin came into the family for 16 years, she was good for polygamy. Both Mary and Janelle admitted that Christine coming into the family helped relieve some of the tension that they had between them. So how was she not a good fit? Christine coming into the family lightened the load of the wives. Christine coming into the family allowed the moms to go out and work while she helped. She not only worked, but she helped be a parent and a teacher to their children. So stop acting like Christine just wasn't a good fit. Once again, Suki does not call him out on this. He said to make that accusation against Robin is sour griping, and because now she's in love with David, she should prove that out, but by never saying anything else mean about Robin. If Cody thinks that Christine saying that she doesn't feel like Robin was meant for polygamy is her speaking badly about Robin, then he would never be able to handle most of us on the internet. Because I have a lot of things to say when it comes to that bird that could be considered to be mean. And I'm sure all of you do as well. Because over the years, we've seen the manipulation, we've seen the cunning behavior, we've seen the things that she does and did to find a way to cause havoc in this family. And yet, for some odd reason, he still doesn't see it just because he's so in love. Don't sit there and act like this woman is not in love if she speaks about Robin. She was stuck with you and Robin for over 10 plus years, however long he had been married to Robin at this point. And she had to deal with the mess that Robin did, the cunning ways, the lying, the manipulation, and all those things. She has every right to speak about Robin. If that's the case, then Cody needs to take his own advice, and he shouldn't have anything else to say about Christine either, because he's moved on, right? He got what he wanted, which was Robin. He said, I'll believe that she's in love when she no longer has anything bad to say about Robin or him to his children. Her being in love does not negate aspects of what she went through with one of his wives. And telling her kids the truth isn't anything bad because they're not little kids anymore. I wrote, I'll keep going. I think I meant to say something else there, you guys, but as I told y'all, my notes got really messed up, and now I'm sitting here scrolling because I lost my place. Bear with me. Technical difficulties. Y'all having a great day out there. I read that. Christine says the way she feels about David is how he feels about Robin. And she didn't realize it until it happened. And now she can see why he would never want to leave Robin. She just wants him to go and be happy with her and to let them go, stop being angry so that they can all get along. But Cody can't let it go because Cody is miserable. Janelle thinks that Cody is heading towards monogamy. She says that they found something that works for them, and maybe one day she'll find something that will work for her with someone else, but she doesn't see it as happening right now. She really wanted to take this time to be with herself, and Janelle should, because Janelle went from one marriage, was divorced for a little bit of time, and then got into another one. So she should take this time to find herself and to be with herself. Suki then says something about another sister wife, and Janelle's like, I bet you $1,000 that that's not going to happen. That's not what he wants. She then asks Cody, and Cody says, you mean if Robin is going to chase down somebody the way Mary chased down Robin? I don't understand why they keep trying to lie to us about how Robin entered this picture, because it's not true. Mary thinks she has something to do with it, but Mary didn't have anything to do with that. It was all Robin and Cody. He said no, he would not be interested in getting another wife because he'll have to tell another woman that he'll never love her as much as he loves Robin, and that is something that he's learned. I said, well, at least he's honest about that. Robin is asked a question about, her and Cody kind of being like together and alone. And Robin says she doesn't know how she feels. She said that she feels it's disrespectful to move on to be happy with Cody without the approval of her 3 other sister wives. And I said, girl, what are you talking about? Because you've been happy with Cody since you had him. So what are you talking about? Whether or not the other wives are there is irrelevant. So once again, we're going to get to this poor Robin thing, this woe is me Robin thing. She feels like she needs to get the 3 wives' approval. You do not need to get their approval. All 3 of them left the man and said that they want her to be happy. She says that she needs to hear from the 3 OG wives that they will be happy for her being with him. And she wants it to be face-to-face, off camera. Is that really going to happen when you weren't willing to be face-to-face with them in any other form or capacity? Now you want them to be face-to-face with you and talk about this off camera when they clearly have shown that they don't care what you have going on. Suki says, I spoke to them. They want you to be happy. Like them actually talking to her is going to make any type of difference. You don't even talk to them on the phone. Why would they want to talk to you in person? She says she needs it off camera. She needs it to her face. It just feels so disrespectful to his kids. It feels disrespectful to the commitment that she made. But icing his kids out doesn't feel disrespectful? Because to me, that's what Robin has done. She's iced his kids out. She didn't do anything to help aid in him reconnecting with his other children when she knows that she has Cody's ear, because as she let us know, she speaks Cody. She then grabs tissues for these non-existent tears once again. Y'all, I even zoomed in to see if anything drops. At no point is any one of those tissues the least bit saturated. My commitment to their kids, to the family, is not broken. And I don't know how to break it. I don't know how to be done with it. People can think I'm stupid, but I don't care. And Suki says, I don't think you're being stupid. I think you're asking to have a conversation. You see how ridiculous that just was with me faking like I was crying and then going, that's how I feel watching Robin. Like, girl, you are not crying. Why are you doing this? Anyways, back to Suki. She says, I think you're asking to have a conversation with your sister wives in order for you to truly be happy with Cody. You need them to release you. And I said, okay, Suki, this is where we go back in TLC. I need you to show clips. Because in my opinion, Christine released her when they sat outside of her home and she said, I'm moving, I'm divorced, I'm no longer married to Cody, and I no longer have a desire to communicate with you, Robin. I want to keep it the way it's been. All right. Mary released her when she sat there, let her know, look, we're done. I'm not doing this. I'm leaving. I'm going to go. She walked off crying, came back, and she was still going to go. Release. And Janelle released her as soon as she stopped talking to her. Janelle's done. Watch this episode and hear Janelle say that she has no desire to reconcile. That lets you know that she's done. Suki then gets back to Christine. She says, is there anything that David does better than Cody? She said he's aware and very observant of her to the point where she'll say, he'll see something's wrong. She'll say that nothing's wrong. He'll say, okay, and then he'll sit there and he'll wait for her to tell him. David then comes out again because TLC showed us this stuff out of sequence. We know we saw him last week, and then we see him come out again. Christine is extremely giddy during this portion. It's like watching a schoolgirl talk about her crush. I'm happy to see her in love, but if I'm honest, it's a bit much for me. I just, Christine is 50 years old, so to see her like this is like, okay, Christine, I know you're bubbly, I know you're excited, but I just need you to fairy tale it a little less. So we find out that David has 8 kids and 10 grandkids. He was married for over 20 years and his wife passed away 11 years ago. He knew Christine was on TV, but he didn't know everything about her. So when he saw her picture, he was familiar with her. He showed it to his daughter, and his daughter thought he was being catfished. We find out that their second date was a play, and he was watching her, watching the play and seeing her cry and all these things. And he just felt like he just loved how passionate she was and the way that she loves life. He immediately, when seeing her picture and seeing her in person, felt that she was beautiful. But one of the things he loves most about her is her energy and her quirkiness. He said she was different to him because despite what we may see on TV, that there was no drama and is no drama. And he can be himself with her, which is very important. When you're with your person, you have to be able to be yourself. I am silly. Y'all don't know the half of it. Like, I am super, 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 super silly. I have my serious moments, but when I get in that giddy mode between my son, my man, and the dog, I just, I know they just, sometimes I catch them looking at me and I'm just like, I mean, it's what happens. He said he wasn't intimidated by the platform because he wants the person, after the cameras are down and all of this is over, he wants the person that he could see him spending the rest of his life with. We see the clip of her talking about dating. Now, y'all, this, if you don't think about anything else, think about this. We see the clip of her, I think it was Valentine's Day. They were painting the canvases. She was saying some of the things that she wanted in a man. She wanted him to be bald. She wanted him to be tattooed. She wanted him to ride motorcycles. She just basically wanted the polar opposite of Cody, which is understandable when you've been with Cody. They show the part where they're painting and Christine is talking about like some of the things that concerns her, like the fact that she doesn't know if she's a good kisser and, she doesn't have a lot of experience and all these other things. And Kelty says, I can understand that it's scary for you because you were married for 25 plus years and the guy that you were married to wasn't into you. But that's his problem, not yours. I immediately knew this was going to be a problem because Cody's sitting there shaking his head like he was bothered by the statement. We realized that Christine got everything she manifested, even to the point that at one point David was riding motorcycles. He since stopped, but he did have a motorcycle. And he has tattoos. They even got the same tattoo in the same place that says New Beginnings. Christine says that she knew that her kids knew she was in a marriage with someone who was not attracted to her. Now that part kind of confused me because how did they know that? Did they hear Cody say this? Or was this something that you told them at a younger point? I'm confused and I wish Suki would have dug into it more. She said that let her know that she needed to do something different. I think there were a lot more things other than that. Christine, but this is what she's saying, so we're just gonna go with it. In that scene, Cody sees that Christine is asking for her children to side with her against him. And I said, okay, at no point was that a part of the scene. Like, no point. Suki even looks perplexed with what he's saying, but she doesn't say anything about it. He then continues to say, I mean, nobody else sees it. Maybe I'm just delusional. And to me, Suki, that would have been the perfect time. Suki should have been like, yeah, you're delusional. That's not what happened in that scene. He says he has a problem with her sitting there and setting the kids against him to gain favor with her. And that is what she was doing in that scene. And I'm like, okay, how is her talking about her fears and her going online to meet a man, trying to have them pick sides? I guess they're not supposed to talk to Christine at all, and they're just supposed to act like they don't like her, because McKelty's saying that Dad saying that he wasn't attracted to you isn't on you, it's on him, is an accurate statement. Suki asks him, in what aspect is she doing that? And he says, McKelty, in order to gain favor with Christine, is siding against me on this whole story. What the bleep, 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 bleep. Bleep. What is he talking about? How did he gain that from that? How did he get that from her saying that it's his problem that he's not attracted to her? You aren't attracted to her. That's your problem. You married a woman you weren't attracted to. That's not on Christine. That's on you. It's true. McKelty gonna get in trouble for that one. She's joining Christine, according to him, and criticizing him because he just didn't love Christine. Even if that moment, McKelty, there was nothing that McKelty could have said in that moment that would have made him feel like it was okay, except for, Mom, don't blame Dad because he didn't find you attractive. All McKelty did was just state what he said. So what's the problem? And at this point, they've seen you say it on TV. Even if it wasn't something that was originally told to them, they've seen you say it on TV. McKelty and Gwen, if no one else, watch this thing to the point where Janelle tells them sometimes don't watch certain episodes because they talk about it. He said, back when they were, together, in his eyes, he was attached to her and around her. So she had to tell them this, and that was wrong. He claims to be happy for her, but he doesn't like her trash talking him on the show and to the kids. Instead of Suki saying, I think she isn't trash talking you. What is your, idea or what about her? Tell me examples when you think that she's trash talking you or something like that. She just lets him go with that. I think we need to remember that these are not little kids. He keeps saying, my children this, my children that, my children that, when it's convenient for him. Because other times it's their Janelle's kids and Christine's kids and, those jerks and those a-holes and all that other stuff. But now because he's trying to spin this narrative and to make you feel sorry for him, he's changing it. But these are adults. They are mature enough, because they aren't Robin's kids, to understand what's going on and to formulate their own opinions without having the Bird or Cody change the narrative. My son is 17 years old, and there are a lot of things when he was younger that went on with his other parent where I made excuses, or we're going to call it what it was. I lied and said, he couldn't come because he had to work, or, things of that nature that at the time you feel like you're protecting your kids, right? And one day in therapy, when we were talking about something and my son was at a certain age and my son started seeing things for himself, my son called me out. I say that to say, Christine can't continue to lie to these adults who have seen what has gone on. The time now, she has to be honest. It's not fair. It's not fair to her, and it's not fair to them that she cannot be honest about what she experienced with their father. Now, does she have to go into all this detail about the things she experienced? No, but she can be honest by saying he wasn't attracted to me. That's the truth. You said it on TV. I don't think that she's wrong, and you all can tell me your opinion, but I don't think she's wrong for telling these young adults the truth. We find out from David that despite her worries, Christine is a good kisser. We find out that it felt like a chore to Christine when Cody kissed her, that it wasn't something that he just wanted to do. Like, he never just wanted to make out, that it was always, kissing for sex. It wasn't kissing to just kiss. It had to lead up to something, which is sad. Cody continues to talk about how Christine, what? Oh, he talks about Christine and David, and she's Machiavellian and all this other stuff, and how years from now he wouldn't be surprised if him and David get along and David comes up to him and says, dude, this is nuts, and he'll say, don't talk to me about it, talk to him. As I said in my previous video, Cody is asinine for thinking that David would ever solicit any type of advice concerning Christine and ask him. Cody is in no position to discuss Christine's husband or fiance at this point when he still hasn't even dealt with his own crap. I'm leaving some of what Cody said out because it's to the point where a lot of what he says is the same stuff over and over again that he does not practice himself, talking about forgiveness and all these other things when we know he doesn't forgive. David said, Cody is definitely wrong in saying anything like Christine being a backstabber or anything like that, because she's not. And stuff like that, he just doesn't see in her, and he's normally really good at reading people. He says she's just really good. She's sometimes a little clueless, but conniving is not something she is. After watching some of the show, David feels that Cody wears his emotions on his sleeves a lot. David is not that type of person. Cody says for David Willie's sake, Christine has to destroy his character, or Cody doesn't feel like he can marry her because she left a good man. I went into a lot of detail about this in yesterday's video, so some of what you hear may be repeated. As I said in yesterday's video, that sounds more like what the bird did. She's the one who came into the family saying false things and vile things about her ex to make Cody feel better. Cody continues, I'm not a bad guy. Christine and I were just not in a good marriage. Suki tells him, I met David. I don't feel like he feels that way at all. I'm being honest with you. He just feels that there was a marriage for two people that didn't work out and a divorce took place. So he tells us that he vetted Robin differently than that. He vetted her hard. He had to know she didn't leave a good man before he was going to marry her and take a chance with her. Suki, because she just is Cody's friend and identifies with him, lets him know that he is a good man, even though Christine left. I said it before and I'll say it again. Christine did not leave a good man. She met a good man. What does it say? Because I follow Christine. What does it say when someone who has been in her life for, at this point, I believe it was less than 2 years, has been there more as a father figure recently to her children and Janelle's children than this man has? Their actual father. It says a lot to me. David doesn't understand why things didn't work out with Cody and Christine. He says, but from what he knows of Christine, she is the complete package. Everything that he ever wanted in a woman is there. There's intimacy, there's touching, there's communication, there's talking. And I don't know if she had that previously. David then admits to, although he was in his previous marriage, that there wasn't that much talking. So now that he has Christine and he's experienced it, he realizes that she is everything. Basically, they both found what they needed in their partners. He said that we are awesome together. They then talk about the proposal. She says she had no clue. They went riding to Moab. They went to one of his favorite places. His friends were there. Somebody was recording. He proposed. They talk wedding. We find out that she isn't going to have any bridesmaids, but she wants Peyton and her father to walk her down the aisle. She wants all of her children and grandchildren to just, walk down and participate, but she wants no bridal party. They're going to be wearing a certain color scheme though. She says, with this wedding, you're going to see her walk down the aisle. You're going to see the dress. You're going to see the family that she always wanted. Janelle and her kids are invited to the wedding. She has reached out to Robin's kids, but they have not answered. And Leon is also invited, and their partner is going to come as well. Some of Cody's siblings are invited and have, RSVP'd as well as gained accommodations. I'm sure he's going to be pissed about that. She's getting her fairy tale wedding, and we know we're going to see it later. Mary says that she's okay with not getting an invite. She understands why, because a wedding is something very personable. Janelle is excited about it. We then later hear them ask Suki asked them about reconciling, and she wants to know if Janelle feels like she can reconcile with Cody, and Janelle says no, and at this point she's okay with that. And I'm like, good for you, Janelle. She said that she does feel like they could be friends because she still has a high regard for him. I have a problem with that. I'm not saying don't be friends, but you cannot be friends with him until he makes it right with your kids. This is the issue that I have with Janelle. If you don't do right by my children, or in my case, my child, I'm not cool with you. We're not going to be friends. I'm not going to sit there and smile and think of the good times with you, because right now all I can focus on is the bad, because you have hurt 6 of my children tremendously. I'm Janelle. More than that, if you add Christine and if you add Mary's child, you've hurt these kids tremendously. And it's not okay the way that you do things and how you treat them and how you ignore them and how you pick and choose when they're allowed to speak to you and if you want to be a part of their life. That is not okay. And the fact that Janelle wants to still remain his friend, knowing all of this, to me is part of the thing about me that finds Janelle sometimes to be concerning, because I just feel like the way he's treated you and tossed you to the side and stopped caring about you. Why do you need to be his friend? Be cordial and keep it moving. Once again, it's not like he's overly active with your children, so you're really not going to have to see him. He's not going to be invited to a lot of those birthday parties and things of that nature. You hear Maddie on video saying that her children will not have anything to do with Cody because she doesn't feel like he's safe. So, Janelle, why do you even need to be his friend? I don't care about the celebrity crush segment. We see Christine say that it's been 13 years. It's been a lot of her pouring out her real emotions, her real feelings, showing the good and the bad. She's told no lies. Christine, y'all did lie about a lot of stuff. Like, to me, omission is also lying. Like, we can make it pretty all we want to, but you did lie about some things. She's ready to show everyone the best day of her life. They are both excited that they're getting married, and I'm sure it burned Cody up that they ended the segment with them. You all, sorry if I missed anything. As I said earlier, put it down in the comment section if it's something that you wanted to talk about, but I didn't. I'm sure I'm going to probably end up doing a say what or two from this video, because there were some things that I want to dive into, like the whole Robin thing and her acting like she really needs approval from these people to move on. But we'll do that at another time. Let me know your thoughts. Please like the video. Thank you all so much. Let me tell you all something. You all sure know how to make a lady feel good. I looked at it last week. I had put up on my community board, thank you for the 500 subscriptions. And I looked today and I am at 600 subscriptions. That is insane to me, that I gained 100 followers in a little over a week. And I am beyond appreciative. So let me say this, and you're going to hear me say it often. Thank you for subscribing. You do not have to do it. There are so many other people out there on these YouTube streets who have great content, and you all are coming back and you are adding people to the family, and it means so much to me because I see that first goal of mine to get to those 100 subscribers on the horizon, and it's exciting. I'm not going anywhere. I still plan on doing this. I told y'all I want this thing to be to the point where it can be monetized because I'm trying to make sure that my son is straight. We're gonna go into senior year, and y'all know the senior year is expensive. There's a lot of things to put out there, and I am a single mom. So I want to make sure that my baby is good. So thank you all so much. I have found myself enjoying this more than I thought I would. I appreciate you all so very much. Until next time.